Hi, everyone. I'm Veronica Kazanjian-Babian, Associate Director in Alumni Relations and a graduate from Thomas Jefferson University from 1995. It's my pleasure to welcome you back to our Fall 2021 Workout Wednesday series. Thank you to everyone who submitted our recent Workout Wednesday survey. You responded and we listened. Among one of the highest exercise sessions that you had requested was Pilates. So we're thrilled to welcome back our Pilates instructor for today, Beth Grutzmacher. She'll lead a 30-minute Pilates workout, and we suggest that a mat, rug, or carpet is used during the session. A little bit about Beth. She's a member of the Thomas Jefferson University wellness team at the East Falls main campus. She's been there for the past 7 years. She teaches Pilates bar and bands there. She also has a BS in dance education from New York University. She's worked with renowned choreographers and has also choreographed several local high school productions. This season, we've pre-recorded all of our sessions for maximum exercise time. So have a great workout, and I'll see you back in about 30 minutes.
Hi, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Grutzmacher. I'm a staff member on the wellness department at Jefferson University main campus. And we're going to be starting out with a Pilates workout today. So we're going to stick mainly to core and lower body. And that's it. Let's get started. All righty, so we're going to sit up nice and tall, nice straight spine. And we're going to start just by rolling down one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way down onto the mat, taking the time to articulate every portion of your spine. Rolling it all the way down. And then as soon as you hit that floor, starting with the top of your head, we're going to peel it up. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to take it again, rolling it back. One more time. Really thinking about not gripping in your thighs here, using those abdominal muscles, pulling your navel back to your spine, relax your neck and chin. Last time coming up. Rolling it back. Rolling it up. This time, grabbing onto the back of your thighs, hollowing out your core, so navel to your spine. And all you're going to do is take it and pulse it back. Again, thinking about your neck, thinking about your chin. Make sure you're breathing. Last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sitting it up tall. Hands right behind you, moving those heels up towards your hips. You're going to drop your knees over to the right. Your head's coming left. So just getting a little bit of lubrication into all the vertebrae in your spine. Then we're going to drop the knees the other way, knees coming to the left, head goes to the right. We're going to move through this a bunch of times. Moving it through. Last time, last side. Scooching down toward the bottom of your mat, you're gonna roll it back. So every single vertebrae touches that mat. We're coming to a nice flat position here. Hands are coming right by your sides. So we're gonna take right knee to table, left to table. So keeping that chin towards your chest, so head, neck, and shoulders are coming all the way up off the floor. Slowly lower them back down. Just kind of getting into that feeling, reaching it up, head, neck, and shoulders, bringing it back down. So making sure that you're not bringing your knees back to meet your head. You're staying at a true 90 degrees. Roll it back. Reach it up. So while you're here, you're bringing that navel to your spine. Drop it back. Taking it up. Dropping it back. Hands coming down to your sides. Head, neck, and shoulders coming up off the floor. All we're going to do is take a little toe tap here. So you're moving from your hips. You're dropping that toe to your floor. So we're not bending at the knee. You're not bringing your knees in and out. It's truly as if you had a dowel that's going straight through your hips. You're just dropping and lifting. Right, lift it up. Left, lift it up. Making sure the rib cage is in and your spine is pressed to the floor. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those knees into your chest, drop your head, give yourself a little break here, rock it side to side. Make sure you're not using your neck. You want to get into your core and not use your chin and your neck. I'm going to say that 9,000 times. So we're coming right back out to that same position. Head, neck, and shoulders coming off the floor. Now you're going to tap with both toes. Tap. You're going to find that this is more challenging. So we slow it down. Tap and lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Head, neck, and shoulders coming down, rocking it side to side. Bringing those hands right down by your ankles. So this time we're going to take your knees and we're going to reach our legs away and reach our arms over our head, making sure that you keep your feet above your hips. We want the rib cage to stay on the ground. So when you reach away, keep it high, bring it back in nice and slow. So think about it as if you were moving through something viscous like peanut butter or honey. Imagine that for yourself, reaching through, bring it in. Squeezing your inner thighs together. Don't let those ribs pop off the floor. If you feel it happening, take your legs up a little bit higher. Two more here. Last one. Woo! You should be feeling it now. So we're going to take those legs straight up to the air. So, two options here. You can take head, neck, and shoulders up off the floor, or if you feel like it's a lot for you, you can keep the head, neck, and shoulders down. You're still going to get the same benefit here. I do my head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. I like the extra space it gives me in my spine. All we're going to do is take a heel drop. So a nice straight leg, heel drops to the floor, comes right back up. Drop, reach it up. Drop, reach it up. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Rock it side to side. Give yourself a little break here. You should feel heat in your core now. Taking it right back up to where it was. Head, neck, and shoulders off the floor or down by your sides. Hands are down by your sides. We're going to take a nice little half moon here. So you're going around in a circle. Your heels will touch. Then you're going to return the same way you came. So the movement stays to the outside of the body. Touch. Bring it up. Touch it down. Bring it up. Take it down. Bring it up. Two. Last one here. Bring those knees down. Flex those feet. Placing the feet on the floor. So put your heels close to your hips. We're just going to take a couple roll-ups here so that you get a little stretch. We've been doing a lot of ab stuff, so I want to give you a little bit for the hip flexor. You're going to start with the tailbone. We're going to roll it up. So you're going to take it high, high, high into the shoulders and slowly rolling it back down. Again, thinking about articulating through each vertebrae of the spine here. Take your time. Rolling it up. High, high, high. Lift the bottom all the way off the floor. Slowly rolling it down. All the way up. Rolling it down. Last one. Rolling it up. Staying high. All we're going to do is take a little tiny pulse here. You're going to drop and lift, 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 lift. Lift it, lift, lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying up there, so you're going to bring the inner thighs in and then bring them out. So it's like Suzanne Summers, Thigh Master. I'm dating myself. You know what I'm talking about. In, out, in, out, in, out. Now we're going to get faster, double time. In, 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 in. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Don't go anywhere. Stay here. I know it burns. We're going to take a 4-parter here. So you're going to come up, down, open, close. One more time. Up, down, open, close. Here we go. We're going to take it a little faster. Keep that booty up. Here we go. We go up, down, out, in. Up, down, out, in. Up, down, out, in. Keep going. Last 2. Last 1. Rolling it down. Give yourself a little squeeze here. And we're going to roll it up to a seated position. Moving yourself back on your mat. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. I'm kind of going to move my tush out from underneath me so I can feel my hips into the floor. So all we're going to do is we're going to take our arms out. We're reaching forward this time. So you're reaching forward. So see how my hands are all the way above my feet? My nose is going down toward my knees. Give yourself a second here. Slowly rolling it back up nice and slow. Isolating, you're only coming right back up to that L position or that seated position. We're reaching it forward. Rolling it up. Nice and slow. Flexing those feet. Rolling it up. One more forward. Reaching down. So we're grabbing onto those feet. So for some of us, you might be grabbing onto your shins. You might be grabbing your ankles, sides of feet, or tops of feet. Make sure that you're nice and loose. Your quads should be like jelly. Nose to your knees. Give yourself a chance to unfold here. Make sure those shoulders are down on your spine. Don't let them crunch up to your ears. Slowly rolling it back up. So I'm going to open up to a nice second position here. Toes facing the ceiling, knees facing the ceiling. So we're just going to come forward, give yourself a nice inner thigh stretch here. Dropping the elbows to the floor, taking your time. So when you're in this position, make sure the knees and the toes aren't rolling forward when you're here. Keep it up toward the ceiling. Good job. Don't worry if you aren't super wide in your second position. Doesn't make a difference. We're going to do a similar version of a similar exercise that we just did before, except we're going to take it out to the side. So I just want your inner thighs to be ready for when we do that. It's a big muscle group, so we need to give it a minute to kind of get used to working like this. Walking it forward. So if you were cool, just dropping your elbows, stay right where you were. If not, you walk those hands forward, shoulders down on your spine. Make sure that you're nice and long. Gaze is actually toward the floor so that you keep the line of the cervical spine with everything else. Let's drop the elbows if you feel like you can. If not, you can always stay right where you were, dropping the head to the floor, let gravity do some work here. Walking those hands back in towards your body. Just a quick side venture here. So you're going to take the elbow to the inside of the thigh, taking the left arm up and over. Stretch out the side body here. We're going to reverse it. Take it to the left elbow to the left thigh. So you're pressing the elbow to the thigh, thigh to the elbow, up and over. Right arm. Reaching it up. So we're going to take a little spinal twist here. So this is similar to what we were just doing in that L shape. So we're twisting, but I'm twisting from my core. So I'm not just taking my arms from side to side, I'm moving my whole body. When I get to where I can not go anymore, I'm reaching all the way forward as if somebody's pulling my hand with a rope. Then I'm coming back to that easy seated position, back to neutral. Then I reverse to the other side. Reach it forward. One side probably is going to feel very different than the other. Don't be alarmed, that's totally normal. Taking it again. Reaching all the way forward. Make sure that you're staying high. You're not dropping all the way down to the leg. Reaching it back to center. Reaching it forward. Coming back to center. One more time on each side. Twist. One more time to the left. Good. Taking it all the way over, just a little stretch here, grabbing on where you can. Like I said, it might be your shin, ankle, sides, or tops of feet. Just a little stretch here. Taking it all the way up to a nice seated position. We're going to cross it over and we're going to come to our tummy here. So I'm just repositioning myself on the mat. So a lot of people don't think about it, but your back and your low spine, big part of what we do in Pilates. So we're going to do some stuff to kind of lengthen that out. People who sit in chairs all the time, not good. So first thing we're going to do is we're coming to a nice position. We're just prone to the floor. Your hands are coming behind your head. Fingertips are barely touching your head. Elbows are out to the side. All I'm going to do is lengthen and lift my head, neck, and shoulders. So you're going to get to a point where you feel like it's going to pinch. That's where I want you to stop. Make sure that your pubic bone and your pelvis is digging into the mat. Lifting that head, neck, and shoulders. It's not a big movement. Very small. Lower it. Lift it. I want to make sure that you're not yanking everything up. It's nice and slow and controlled. So I want it to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Two more. And lift and lower. Nice work. So if you feel a little bit of a burn in that lower spine, that's what I'm looking for. So hands coming underneath the forehead. Now we're going to take the legs. So eventually we're going to be using both of these together. But for right now, we're going to isolate right and left leg. So you're going to try your best to keep your glutes nice and loose. So I don't want you to use your butt to lift your leg. I want you to think about using your hamstring. So I'm going to change my mind and say, I want you to put your hands on your butt, which I know is gross, but you're going to do it anyway. So you're going to keep that head down on the floor. And I want you to keep your hands here just so you can monitor how far you're really getting into the hamstring and how much you're relying on the glute. So if you feel like you're really working hard in the glute, you have to think about it and use the hamstring. So it's not a big movement, just the right leg. And lift and lower. So if you feel your tush tense, like your bottom tense up, you're relying too much on the glute here. Lift and lower. Lift, lower, lift, lift. You really kind of have to think about it. Last 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to switch to the left leg. Here you go. Lift, 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 lift. Your butt should feel like mush. And you should really feel those hamstrings start to fatigue. You should feel them working. Four, three, two, one. So now that you know what that feels like, hands come up to underneath the chin. You can do the chin or the forehead. This time we're going to work on lifting both at the same time. Very challenging. So we're going to go a little bit slower here. Here we go. Lift, lower, lift, lower. Don't let it go into that lower back. Use the hamstring. Four, three, two, one. Now we're going to alternate between top and bottom. So hands are coming to that same position, fingertips to the back of the head. And we're going to lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Drop it. Lift those legs. And drop it. Don't use your butt. Lift and drop. Lift and drop. Head, neck, and shoulders. Drop it. Legs. It's not a big movement. Head, neck, and shoulders. Drop it. Legs. Drop it. Slow and controlled. Lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. Last one. Lift. Lower. Lift. And lower. Nice job. Bringing those hands down to your bra line, sitting your hips back to your heels. Woo! Pressing those fingertips into the floor. We're just going to roll through the spine. So you're going to start lifting the rib cage, keeping everything really high, bringing the hips forward, dropping them through, lifting the head. Should feel really good. Take it back. Rounding it through again. Taking your time, working through each vertebrae. It's about articulation here. Rounding it through. Dropping your chin to your chest here. So you're tucking your toes under in the back and you're gonna lift those heels up. So you're in a little downward dog here. Pressing through those heels, alternating. Or walking your dog. We call it many things. Coming back to center here. Walking those feet up to meet your hands. Taking a minute here, just hanging out. You can grab opposite elbows here. Let your head hang nice and loose. So let's take a little swing, right and left, right and left. Drop those hands to the floor. Shake your head, yes. Shake it, no. And slowly bend those knees. We're going to tuck that tailbone, rolling up one vertebrae at a time to standing. Just take a quick scan of your body here, see how everything feels, and we're going to roll it right back down, starting with your head, chin to your chest. Slowly moving through. Make sure you're not gripping anywhere. Slowly bend those knees, tucking that tailbone, rolling it all the way up to standing. Take a deep breath in. Bring those arms all the way up. Take it all the way down. One more deep breath in. Take it all the way down. And you guys made it. That was our Pilates flow for today. I hope it got your blood pumping, got some oxygen moving through you, got you feeling a little bit rejuvenated and energized. And I hope you'll come back and work out with me again. Again, my name is Beth Grutzmacher. I am on the schedule at main campus on Wednesdays at 4 and 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock Pilates, 5 o'clock bar. I'd love to see you. I'm going to throw it back to the Alumni Association. Thank you guys so much for having me, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye.
Thank you so much, Beth, for offering today's Pilates session. She gave us a few extra minutes, a few extra bonus points there for you who, any of you who have stayed on. And thanks to everyone who did participate in today's session. We hope you did get your blood pumping and you were able to just have a great session this afternoon. You'll have an opportunity to complete a survey for this workout afterwards, and a recording of this session is available on the Jefferson Alumni YouTube channel within the next 24 hours. So feel free to exercise with Beth as many times as you like. And if you'd like to connect directly with Beth about personal training, you can contact her directly at her email, which is ecgrutz@gmail.com. And I'm just going to give you some further announcements. So don't forget, you still have the opportunity to receive a special Jefferson gift if you participate in 5 or more live Workout Wednesday sessions in 2021. We've kept a list of those who participated earlier in the year, so be sure to keep coming back, and we'll be sending out those gifts very soon. I hope you'll join us for some of our other upcoming events. These include some more Workout Wednesday sessions, as well as a webinar for mindless skills for leaders. And of course, we've got our in-person fall culture events taking place very soon. We've got the Museum of the American Revolution, the Philly Pops, and Longwood Gardens. You can sign up for any of our events and programs at jefferson.edu/alumni events. And you can also follow us on our social channels to keep up with any of our upcoming exclusive events and other alumni information. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, in addition to our Jefferson webpage. Lastly, remember to get connected on our Jefferson Alumni Network platform by scanning the QR code on the screen or by visiting alumninetwork.jefferson.edu, where you'll have an opportunity to connect and network with Jefferson, Textile, and PhilaU alumni based on name, major, class year, specialty, region, and more. Once again, thanks for joining us today. I hope you stay well and stay safe. Goodbye.